Let's begin with the introduction of an angle. You must have seen a swing or a slide in the park. A swing and a slide has mathematics hidden in it. Let's find out how. Look at the picture. Here we can see angles between the slide and the ground. Now, look at the second picture. Here we can see an angle between the rope of the swing and the horizontal bar above. In the third picture, look at the ladder that leans against the wall. We see an angle between the ground and the ladder and another between the wall and the ladder. Thus, we see angles in many places around us. After getting the knowledge about an angle, let us study about its elements. Look at the figure alongside. We see an angle. In the figure, there are two rays, namely ray BA and BC. They have a common origin B. In the figure, we can see that rays BA and BC do not lie on the same line. So, the rays BA and BC are called as the sides or the arms of the angle. Point B is the common origin of rays BA and BC. So, it is called the vertex of angle ABC. Now, let's see how to name an angle. The name of the angle is written using three letters as angle DEF or angle FED. The letter naming the vertex of an angle is always written in the middle. Here in the figure, point E is the name of the vertex. It is read as angle DEF or angle FED using three letters. For convenience, it is written using a single letter as angle E. The sign used to denote an angle is this. Angle DEF is written as shown on the screen, while angle E is written as shown. Look at the figure. In this figure, there are three angles in it. They are angle PQR, angle PQS, and angle SQR. Now let's begin with exercise 43. Question 1. Which of the following figures show angles? Look at the figures. Figure 1 and figure 3 form the angles. Question 2. Write the names of the angles in three letters and in one letter. Answer. Number 1. The three-letter name of figure 1 is angle LMN and one-letter name is angle M. Number 2. The three-letter name of figure 2 is angle XYZ and one-letter name is angle Y. Number 3. The three-letter name of figure 3 is angle PQR and one-letter name is angle Q. Number 4. The three-letter name of figure 4 is angle ABC and one-letter name is angle B. Question 3. Write the names of all the angles in each of the figures below using three letters. Answer. Number 1. Angle PQR, angle RQS, angle PQS. Number 2. Angle AOB, angle AOC, angle BOD, angle COD. Number 3. Angle QPR, angle QPS, angle SPR. Now let's learn about angles in different geometrical figures. Look at the figure of triangle ABC. Angle A, angle B and angle C are the angles of triangle ABC. The three-letter names of these angles are angle BAC, angle ABC, angle ACB. Look at the figure of quadrilateral PQRS. Angle P, angle Q, angle R, angle S are the four angles of the quadrilateral PQRS. The three-letter names of these angles are angle QPS, angle PQR, angle QRS, angle PSR. Note: in geometrical shapes, the sides forming angles are segments. Now, let's begin with exercise 44. Question 1. Write the three-letter names of all angles in each figure. Number 1. In the figure, the angles are angle PQR, angle RPQ, angle QRP. Number 2. In the figure, the angles are angle XWZ, angle WZY, angle ZYX, angle YXW. Number 3. In the figure, the angles are angle ABC, angle BCD, angle CDE, angle DEA, and angle EAB. Now, let's learn about the protractor. The protractor is an instrument used to measure a given angle or to draw an angle of given measure. Look at the diagram. The protractor has the shape of a semicircle. The semicircular edge is divided into 180 equal parts. Each part is called a degree. 1 degree is written as shown on the screen. In the first figure, the numbers 0, 10, 20, 30 until 180 are marked serially from left to right. In second figure, the numbers 0, 10, 20, 30 until 180 are marked serially from right to left. The center of the circle, of which the semicircle is a half, is called the center of the protractor. Its diameter is called the reference line of the protractor. Protractor is used for measuring or constructing an angle. Now let's see how to measure an angle using a protractor. First, let's see how to measure an angle with the help of protractor having the markings of 0 to 180 from left to right. Let's see an example. Measure angle XYZ using a protractor. Number 1. Look at the figure on the screen. Place the center of the protractor on the vertex Y of angle XYZ. Number 3. Let the reference line of the protractor coincide with YZ of the angle. Number 4. Find the 0 mark on the reference line of the protractor that coincides with ray YZ. Number 5. Observe the markings that increase serially from the 0, that is near point Z. Number 6. With which mark on the protractor does the ray YX, the other arm of the angle, coincide? Read the number on that mark. This number is the measure of given angle. Number 7. Thus, the measure of angle XYZ is 45 degrees. Now let's see how to measure an angle with the help of protractor having the markings of 0 to 180 from right to left. Let's see an example. Measure angle PQR using a protractor. Number 1. Look at the figure. Number 2. Let vertex Q coincide with the center of the protractor and ray PQ with the reference line. Number 3. We see the 180 degree mark on ray QP and not the 0 degree mark. Number 4. So, to measure this angle, we must use the protractor having markings from 0 to 180 from right to left. Number 5. Place the center of the protractor on vertex Q. Let ray QP coincide with the reference line. Number 5. Now, the 0 mark on the protractor will lie on ray QP. Number 7. Which mark from the protractor coincides with ray QR? It is the 45 degree mark. So, the measure of angle PQR is 45 degrees. Now we saw how to measure an angle with the help of two different protractors. Instead of using two different protractors for measuring angles, one protractor like the one shown on the screen can be used. Note that this protractor has the 0 degree to 180 degree scale from left to right along the outside edge and from right to left just inside the scale. Let's look at an example. Measure angle DEF using protractor. Number 1. First, look at the figure. Number 2. Now look at the side EF of the given angle. Number 3. Place the center of the protractor on point E so that the reference line of the protractor coincides exactly with ray EF. Number 4. Look at the 0 degree mark on the protractor which lies on ray EF. Number 5. Look at the numbers increasing serially from 0 on the protractor. Number 6. The 120 degree mark coincides exactly with ray ED. Therefore, measure of angle DEF is 120 degrees. Now, let's see how the angles in the figures below are measured with the help of a protractor. Number 1. Angle ABC measures 120 degrees. Number 2. Angle PQR measures 40 degrees. Number 3. Angle LMN measures 90 degrees. Number 4. Angle DEF measures 110 degrees. Now let's begin with the exercise 45. Question 1. Measure the angles below and write the measures. Number 1. Measure of angle LPD is equal to 50 degrees. Number 2. Measure of angle PQR is equal to 110 degrees. Number 3. Measure of angle QLP is equal to 90 degrees. Now let's see how to draw an angle of a given measure. Let's see an example. Draw angle XYZ of measure 60 degrees. Let's see the method of drawing that angle. In this figure, ray YX and ray YZ are the sides of angle XYZ and point Y is its vertex. First, draw ray YZ using a ruler. We have to draw a 60 degree angle at Y as Y is the vertex. Place the center of the protractor at point Y. Keep the protractor in such a way that the reference line will coincide with ray YZ. Look at the markings increasing serially from the 0-degree mark. Make a mark at 60 degree with a pencil. Now remove the protractor. Name this mark as X. Draw ray YX. Thus, we have drawn angle XYZ of measure 60 degrees. Write the measure 60 degree at point Y as shown in the figure. Now, let's take another example. Draw angle PQR of measure 140 degrees. Let's see the method of drawing the angle. In this figure, point Q is the vertex of angle PQR. Ray QP and ray QR are its sides. First, draw a ray QR with the help of a ruler. We have to draw an angle of 140 degrees at point Q. Place the center of the protractor on Q so that the zero of the protractor lies on ray QR. If necessary, extend ray QR. Look at the numbers increasing from the 0 mark that falls on ray QR. Make a mark at 140 degree with a pencil. Remove the protractor and write P next to the pencil mark. Join points Q and P to draw ray QP. Angle PQR of measure 140 degrees is formed. Write the measure 140 degree at point Q. Now let's begin with exercise 46. Question 1. Draw angles of the given measure using a protractor. Name the angles. Number 1. 70 degrees. Solution. Number 1. Draw a ray YZ. Number 2. With the center Y, measure 70 degrees on protractor and mark a point X. Number 3. Draw ray YX. Number 4. Thus, we get the required angle XYZ measuring 70 degrees. Number 2. 100 degrees. Solution. Number 1. Draw a ray QR. Number 2. With the center Q, measure 100 degrees on a protractor and mark a point P. Number 3. Draw ray QP. Number 4. Thus, we get the required angle PQR measuring 100 degrees. Number 3. 90 degrees. Solution. Number 1. Draw a ray BC. Number 2. With the center B, measure 90 degrees on protractor and mark a point A. Number 3. Draw ray BA. Number 4. Thus, we get the required angle ABC measuring 90 degrees. Number 4. 130 degrees. Solution. Draw a ray MN. Number 2. With the center M, measure 130 degrees on protractor and mark a point L. Number 3. Draw ray ML. Number 4. Thus, we get the required angle LMN measuring 130 degrees. Now let's study about the types of angles. Number 1. Right angle. Look at the picture of a clock. Now look at the position of its hands when it shows 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. In this position, its hands make a right angle. Look at any book. The angle formed between any two of its adjacent edges is a right angle. Look at the set squares in your compass box. In each of them, one angle is a right angle. To denote a right angle, the sign is used as shown in the angle. In this figure, angle XYZ is a right angle. Number 2. Acute angle. Angle ABC is smaller than a right angle. Angle ABC is an acute angle. The measure of an acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Now, observe the figures given on the screen. They all are the acute angles. Number 3. Obtuse angle. Angle EBC is greater than a right angle. Angle EBC is an obtuse angle. The measure of an obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. Now observe the figures given on the screen. They all are obtuse angles. Now let's solve exercise 47. Question 1. Say whether each of the following angles is an acute angle, obtuse angle, or a right angle. Write their names. Solution. Number 1. In the given figure, angle ABC is an acute angle. Number 2. In the given figure, angle XYZ is an obtuse angle. Number 3. In the given figure, angle VUW is an acute angle. Number 4. In the given figure, angle QRP is a right angle. Number 5. In the given figure, angle QST is an obtuse angle. Number 6. In the given figure, angle TSR is an acute angle. Number 7. In the given figure, angle RQP is a right angle. Number 8. In the given figure, angle NML is an obtuse angle. Now let's study about the perpendicular lines. When two lines are at right angle to each other, they are said to be perpendicular to each other. In the figure, line L and M are at right angles to each other. They are perpendicular to each other. Let us look at few examples. Number 1. Adjacent edges of a blackboard. Number 2. Adjacent edges of the book. Now let's solve exercise 48. Question 1. Decide by observation which of the following figures show lines that are perpendicular to each other. Solution. In this figure, lines A and B are perpendicular to each other. In this figure, lines X and Y are perpendicular to each other. From the figure, we can see that an angle is formed by union of two rays. B is the common origin of rays BA and BC. B is the vertex of angle ABC. Rays BA and BC are arms of the angle. Angle is named as angle ABC or angle CBA with a symbol resembling the angle figure. Types of angles. Number 1. Acute angle. It measures less than 90 degrees. Number 2. Obtuse angle. Measure of angle is more than 90 degrees. Number 3. Right angle. Measures exactly 90 degrees. Let us see how to denote measure of angle. The measure of angle ABC is 70 degrees. This is denoted in this way. How angles are compared? Angles are compared to find greater or smaller angle on the basis of their angle measure. Example, measure of angle XYZ is equal to 110 degrees. Measure of angle PQR is equal to 50 degrees. Therefore, angle XYZ is greater than angle PQR. Therefore, angle with greater measure is said to be greater than angle with smaller measure. Let's see what is meant by interior and exterior of an angle. In the figure, the points A, R, B, P and C are on angle ABC. The shaded portion shows interior of angle PQR. Rays QP and QR are infinite, so the interior of angle PQR is also infinite. Points X, Y, Z are on the interior of the angle. The shaded portion shows the exterior of angle X, Y, Z. Exterior of an angle is infinite. Points A, B, C, D, E are all in the exterior of angle X, Y, Z. Let us solve exercise 16. Number 1. Name the bigger angle in each pair. Answer. Measure of angle UVW is equal to 90 degrees. Measure of angle XYZ is equal to 49 degrees. Therefore, angle UVW is greater than angle XYZ. Number 2. Answer. Measure of angle ABC is 25 degrees. Measure of angle PQR is 107 degrees. Therefore, angle PQR is bigger than angle ABC. Number 2. Write measures of the angles using symbols. Answer. Measure of angle UVW is equal to 90 degrees. Measure of angle XYZ is equal to 49 degrees. Measure of angle ABC is 25 degrees. And measure of angle PQR is 107 degrees is written in this way. Number 3. In each figure shown, write the names of the points that lie on the angle in exterior and in its interior. Answer. Number 1. In this figure, points X, S, N, T, U lie on the angle. Points L, W are in the interior. Points A, P are in the exterior. Number 2. In this figure, points F, E, G lie on the angle. Points M, Z are in the interior. Points A, Y, V are in the exterior. Let us study about such pairs of angles. Let us begin with a pair of complementary angles. Look at the figures on the screen. Here, measure of angle PQR is 70 degrees and measure of angle LMN is 20 degrees. When we add the measure of these two angles, that is 70 degrees and 20 degrees, we get 90 degrees. Thus, the sum of the measures of the two angles, angle PQR and angle LMN, is 90 degrees. Here, angle PQR and angle LMN are complementary angles. Angle PQR is the complement of angle LMN and angle LMN is the complement of angle PQR. Thus, if the sum of the measures of two angles is 90 degrees, the two angles are called complementary angles. If the measure of one of the complementary angles is given, the measure of the other can be found out with the help of the following formula. Measure of one complementary angle is equal to 90 degrees minus measure of the other angle. Now, let us solve an example using this formula. If the measure of an angle is 45 degrees, what is the measure of its complement? Solution. We know that the sum of the measures of complementary angles is 90 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 45 degrees. The measure of its complement is equal to 90 minus 45, which is equal to 45 degrees. Thus, the measure of its complementary angle is 45 degrees. Now let's solve exercise 17. Question 1. The measures of some angles are given below. Write the measures of their complements. Number 1. 37 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of complementary angles is 90 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 37 degrees. The measure of its complement is equal to 90 minus 37, which is equal to 53 degrees. Thus, the measure of complementary angle is 53 degrees. Number 2. 79 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of complementary angles is 90 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 79 degrees. The measure of its complement is equal to 90 minus 79, which is equal to 11 degrees. Thus, the measure of complementary angle is 11 degrees. Number 3. 25 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of complementary angles is 90 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 25 degrees. The measure of its complement is equal to 90 minus 25, which is equal to 65 degrees. Thus, the measure of complementary angle is 65 degrees. Number 4. 89 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of complementary angles is 90 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 89 degrees. The measure of its complement is equal to 90 minus 89, which is equal to 1 degree. Thus, the measure of complementary angle is 1 degree. Number 5. 17 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measure of complementary angles is 90 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 17 degrees. The measure of its complement is equal to 90 minus 17, which is equal to 73 degrees. Thus, the measure of complementary angle is 73 degrees. Question 2. Complete the following table. Solution. When the given angle is 60 degrees, its complement will be 90 minus 60, which is equal to 30 degrees. When the given angle is 45 degrees, its complement will be 90 minus 45, which is equal to 45 degrees. When the given angle is 75 degrees, its complement will be 90 minus 75, which is equal to 15 degrees. When the given angle is 10 degrees, its complement will be 90 minus 10, which is equal to 80 degrees. When the given angle is 25 degrees, its complement will be 90 minus 25, which is equal to 65 degrees. When the given angle is 80 degrees, its complement will be 90 minus 80, which is equal to 10 degrees. When the given angle is 37 degrees, its complement will be 90 minus 37, which is equal to 53 degrees. Next is a pair of supplementary angles. Look at the figure. Here, measure of angle XYZ is 120 degrees and measure of angle STU is 60 degrees. When we add the measures of these two angles, that is 120 degrees and 60 degrees, we get 180 degrees. Thus, the sum of the measures of the two angles, angle XYZ and angle STU, is 180 degrees. Here, angle XYZ and angle STU are supplementary angles. Angle XYZ is a supplement of angle STU, and angle STU is a supplement of angle XYZ. Thus, if the sum of the measures of two angles is 180 degrees, the two angles are called supplementary angles. If the measure of one of the supplementary angles is given, the measure of the other can be found out with the help of following formula. Measure of one supplementary angle is equal to 180 degrees minus measure of the other angle. Now let's solve an example using this formula. If the measure of an angle is 115 degrees, what is the measure of its supplement? Solution. We know that the sum of the measures of supplementary angles is 180 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 115 degrees. The measure of its supplement is equal to 180 minus 115, which is equal to 65 degrees. Thus, the measure of its supplementary angle is 65 degrees. Now let's solve sums related to supplementary angles from exercise 17. Question 3. The measures of some angles are given below. Write the measures of their supplements. Number 1. 24 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of supplementary angles is 180 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 24 degrees. The measure of its supplement is equal to 180 minus 24, which is equal to 156 degrees. Thus, the measure of its supplementary angle is 156 degrees. Number 2. 90 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of supplementary angles is 180 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 90 degrees. The measure of its supplement is equal to 180 minus 90, which is equal to 90 degrees. Thus, the measure of its supplementary angle is 90 degrees. Number 3. 58 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of supplementary angles is 180 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 58 degrees. The measure of its supplement is equal to 180 minus 58, which is equal to 122 degrees. Thus, the measure of its supplementary angle is 122 degrees. Number 4. 154 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of supplementary angles is 180 degrees. The measure of one of the angle is 154 degrees. The measure of its supplement is equal to 180 minus 154, which is equal to 26 degrees. Thus, the measure of its supplementary angle is 26 degrees. Number 5. 140 degrees. Solution. The sum of the measures of supplementary angles is 180 degrees. The measure of one of the angles is 140 degrees. The measure of its supplement is equal to 180 minus 140, which is equal to 40 degrees. Thus, the measure of its supplementary angle is 40 degrees. Question 4. Complete the following table. Solution. When the given angle is 32 degrees, its supplement will be 180 minus 32, which is equal to 148 degrees. When the given angle is 90 degrees, its supplement will be 180 minus 90, which is equal to 90 degrees. When the given angle is 110 degrees, its supplement will be 180 minus 110, which is equal to 70 degrees. When the given angle is 137 degrees, its supplement will be 180 minus 137, which is equal to 43 degrees. When the given angle is 165 degrees, its supplement will be 180 minus 165, which is equal to 15 degrees. When the given angle is 129 degrees, its supplement will be 180 minus 129, which is equal to 51 degrees. When the given angle is 65 degrees, its supplement will be 180 minus 65, which is equal to 115 degrees. Now let's solve a question related to complementary and supplementary angles. Question 5. Of the pairs of angles given below, which ones are complementary pairs and which are supplementary? Number 1. 69 degrees, 111 degrees. Solution. Sum of the measures of the given angles is 69 plus 111, which is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, 69 degrees and 111 degrees are supplementary angles. Number 2. 26 degrees, 64 degrees. Solution. Sum of the measures of the given angles is 26 plus 64, which is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, 26 degrees and 64 degrees are complementary angles. Number 3. 163 and 17 degrees. Solution. Sum of the measures of the given angles is 163 plus 17, which is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, 163 degrees and 17 degrees are supplementary angles. Number 4. 35 degrees, 55 degrees. Solution. Sum of the measures of the given angles is 35 plus 55, which is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, 35 degrees and 55 degrees are complementary angles. Now let's see, what do you mean by a pair of adjacent angles? Look at the figure. Side OB is common to the two angles, angle ABO and angle CBO. However, the interiors of the angles, angle ABO and angle CBO, are different. Angle ABO and angle CBO are said to be a pair of adjacent angles. Thus, two angles which have a common arm but whose interior are distinct are called adjacent angles. Now, look at this figure. Angle ABC and angle DEF do not have a common arm. Hence, they are not adjacent angles. Now look at the another figure. Here, the arm AB is the common arm between angle ABD and angle ABC. However, point P is in the interior of angle ABD as well as in the interior of angle ABC. It means that interiors of angle ABC and angle ABD are not distinct. Hence, angles ABC and ABD are not adjacent angles. Similarly, angle ABC and DBC are not adjacent angles. Now let's look at angles in a linear pair, opposite rays. In the figure shown, the points P, O, Q are collinear and the point O is between the points P and Q. There are two rays with origin O. Thus, we can say that rays OP and OQ are opposite rays. Now look at this figure. Here, angle XOY and angle YOZ are adjacent angles. They have a common arm OY. The other two arms, that is arm OX of angle XOY and the arm OZ of angle YOZ, are opposite rays. Thus, angle XOY and angle YOZ are a linear pair of angles. Thus, we can say that a pair of adjacent angles whose outer arms are opposite rays are said to be a linear pair of angles. The sum of the measures of angles in a linear pair is 180 degrees. That is, they are supplementary angles. Now let's study about a pair of vertically opposite angles. Look at the figure. O is the point of intersection of line XY and line WZ. Here, the arms OW and OZ of angle XOW and angle ZOY form opposite rays. Similarly, rays OX and OY of these angles are also opposite rays. Here, angle XOW and angle ZOY are a pair of vertically opposite angles. Angle XOZ and angle WOY are also a pair of vertically opposite angles. The measures of angles in a pair of vertically opposite angles are always equal. Now let's solve few sums related to adjacent angles, linear pair angles, and vertically opposite angles from exercise 17. Question 6. From the figure given below, write the measures of the following angles. Number 1. Measure of angle AOC. Solution. Look at the figure. Here, angle AOC and angle BOD are vertically opposite angles. It is given that measure angle BOD is 60 degrees. We know that a pair of vertically opposite angles are equal. That is, angle AOC is equal to angle BOD. Therefore, measure of angle AOC is equal to 60 degrees. Number 2. Measure of angle AOD. Solution. Look at the figure. Measure of angle AOD plus measure of angle DOB is equal to 180 degrees, as they form a pair of linear angles. Therefore, angle AOD is equal to 180 minus measure of angle DOB. Therefore, measure of angle AOD is equal to 180 minus 60, which is equal to 120 degrees. Number 3. Measure of angle BOC. Solution. Look at the figure. Measure of angle BOC is equal to measure of angle AOD, as they are a pair of vertically opposite angles. Therefore, measure of angle BOC is equal to 120 degrees. Question 7. Answer the following questions in relation to the figure given. Number 1. Write the angle vertically opposite to angle BOC. Answer. Angle AOD is vertically opposite to angle BOC. Number 2. Write the measure of the angle vertically opposite to angle BOC. Answer. The measure of the angle vertically opposite to angle BOC, that is angle AOD, is 120 degrees. Number 3. Write the angles that form linear pairs with angle AOD. Answer. Angles that form linear pairs with angle AOD are angle AOC and angle DOB. Number 4. Write measures of the angles which form linear pair with angle AOD. Answer. Measures of the angles which form linear pair with angle AOD are measure of angle AOC is equal to 60 degrees, measure of angle BOD is equal to 60 degrees. Number 5. Write the measure of the complement of angle AOC. Answer. The measure of the complement of angle AOC is equal to 90 minus 60, which is equal to 30 degrees. Number 6. Write the measure of the supplement of angle AOD. Answer. The measure of the supplement of angle AOD is equal to 180 minus 120, which is equal to 60 degrees. Number 7. Write the angles which are adjacent to angle BOD. Answer. The angles that are adjacent to angle BOD are angle AOD and angle BOC. Question 8. Write the measure of every angle with question mark in the figures below. Solution. Look at the figure. Angle PWJ and angle JWS are complementary angles. Therefore, measure of angle JWS is equal to 90 minus measure of angle PWJ, which is equal to 90 minus 37, which is equal to 53 degrees. Thus, measure of angle JWS is equal to 53 degrees. Solution. Look at the figure. Angles JGH and FGJ are a linear pair of angles. Therefore, measure of angle JGH is equal to 180 minus measure of angle FGJ, which is equal to 180 degrees minus 110 degrees, which is equal to 70 degrees. Thus, measure of angle JGH is equal to 70 degrees. Solution. Look at the figure. Angles XYW and ZYW are supplementary angles. Therefore, measure of angle XYW is equal to 180 minus measure of angle ZYW, which is equal to 180 degrees minus 132 degrees, which is equal to 48 degrees. Thus, measure of angle XYW is equal to 48 degrees. Now let's study about the transversal. Look at the figure. Here, line N intersects the line L and the line M at point A and B respectively. A line that cuts two other lines at two different points is called a transversal. Here, line N is the transversal of the line L and the line M. Now let's look at angles made by a transversal. In the figure, you will see that the transversal makes 8 angles, 4 at the point L and 4 at the point P. Let us study some pairs of these angles. Number 1. A pair of corresponding angles. Look at the figure. There are 4 pairs of corresponding angles, angle GPS and angle PLJ, angle SPL and angle JLK, angle DPG and angle PLV, angle DPL and angle VLK. Number 2. A pair of alternate angles. Look at the figure. Angle SPL and angle PLV and angle DPL and angle PLJ is a pair of alternate angles. The alternate angles in a pair are on opposite sides of the transversal. Number 3. A pair of interior angles. Look at the figure. Angle DPL and angle PLV is a pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Similarly, angle SPL and angle PLJ is the other pair of interior angles that lie on the same side of the transversal. Two interior angles that are on the same side of the transversal are called a pair of interior angles. Now let's study the properties of pairs of angles formed by the transversal of parallel lines. Number 1. a pair of corresponding angles. Look at the figure. Line RB and line JG are parallel lines. Line PA is a transversal. Angle PSB and angle SMG are a pair of corresponding angles on the same side of the transversal. Take their measure. You will find that they are the same. Thus, the measures of angles in each pair of corresponding angles formed by a transversal of parallel lines are equal. Number 2. A pair of alternate angles. Look at the figure. Line RH is parallel to line DC and line UA is their transversal. Angle RSB and angle SBC form a pair of alternate angles. Let us measure these angles. Here, the measures of angle RSB and angle SBC are equal. Thus, the measures of angles in each pair of alternate angles formed by a transversal of parallel lines are equal. Number 3. A pair of interior angles. Look at the figure. Line AK is parallel to line PM and line DL is their transversal. Angle KVS and angle VSM is pair of interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Measure these interior angles. You will find that the sum of the measures of the angles angle KVS and angle VSM is 180 degrees. The sum of the measures of the interior angles formed by a transversal of parallel lines is 180 degrees. Now let's look at an example. Find the measures of angle ANL, angle NLG and angle RNL. Look at the figure. Line AR is parallel to line CG. Line BM is their transversal. N and L are their points of intersection and measure of angle BNR is equal to 75 degrees. Number 1. Angle ANL. Solution. It is given that angle BNR is equal to 75 degrees. Angle ANL is vertically opposite angle of angle BNR. Hence, the measure of both the angles will be equal. Therefore, measure of angle ANL is equal to 75 degrees. Number 2. Angle NLG. Solution. Angle NLG is the corresponding angle to angle BNR. We know that the corresponding angles have same measure. It is given that angle BNR is equal to 75 degrees. Thus, angle NLG is equal to 75 degrees. The other possibility in this case is that angle NLG is the alternate angle to angle BNR. We know that the alternate angles have same measure. It is given that angle BNR is equal to 75 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle NLG is equal to 75 degrees. Number 3. Angle RNL. Solution. Angle RNL forms linear pair with angle BNR. Therefore, measure of angle RNL is equal to 180 minus 75 is equal to 105 degrees. The other possibility in this case is that angle NLG and angle RNL are interior angles. Therefore, the measure of angle RNL is 180 minus 75 is equal to 105 degrees. Now let's solve exercise 18. Question 1. In which of the figures below is line Z a transversal of the line T and the line P? Solution. Look at the figure 1. Line Z intersects line T and line P at two distinct points. Thus, line Z is a transversal of the line T and the line P. Look at figure 2. Here, line Z, line T and line P intersect at same point. Thus, line Z is not a transversal of the line T and the line P. Question 2. Look at the figure and name the pairs of corresponding angles, alternate angles, and interior angles. Solution. Look at the figure. The corresponding angles are angle KGB and angle GMP, angle BGM and angle PMT, angle KGS and angle GMV, angle SGM and angle VMT. The alternate angles are angle BGM and angle GMV, angle SGM and angle GMP. The interior angles are angle BGM and angle GMP, angle SGM and angle VMG. Question 3. In the figure, line VP is parallel to line MS. Line DK is their transversal. If measure of angle DHP is equal to 85 degrees, then find measure of angle MGK, measure of angle VHD, measure of angle PHG, and measure of angle HGS. Solution. Measure of angle VHD is equal to 180 minus 85 is equal to 95 degrees, as angle VHD and angle DHP form a linear pair of angles. Therefore, measure of angle VHD is equal to 95 degrees. Measure of angle PHG is equal to 95 degrees, as it is vertically opposite angle of angle VHD. Measure of angle HSG is equal to 180 minus 95 is equal to 85 degrees, as angle HGS and angle GHP form the interior angles. Measure of angle MGK is equal to 85 degrees, as it is vertically opposite angle of angle HGS. Question 4. Look at the figure. Line AD is parallel to line EH. Line XY and line PQ are their transversals. If measure of angle CBF is equal to 70 degrees and measure of angle CGH is equal to 55 degrees, then find measure of angle EFB, measure of angle GFY, and measure of angle BCG. Solution. Number 1. Measure of angle EFB is equal to 70 degrees, as it is an alternate angle to angle FBC. Number 2. Measure of angle GFY is equal to 70 degrees, as it is a corresponding angle to angle FBC. Number 3. Measure of angle BCG is equal to 55 degrees, as it is an alternate angle to angle HGC.